Hello world, my name is Richard, and this is a follow-up video to my last one last week about the state of the nation. It was quite short. I've got some more to say, so this is the second video in the series. So yeah, the state of the nation. Good God, we've got these water companies. The bosses not being charged with criminal negligence or whatever, and the ministers not being charged either. And I've been seeing some COVID footage recently as well, from years ago. And it reminds me of Boris Johnson, this bastard. He claimed to follow the science, and the scientists said lockdown now, but he was a coward and couldn't cope with the pressure from his mates, so he waited 2 weeks. In those 2 weeks where the virus let rip, it's estimated 20,000 people died, or could have died. And many more suffered long-term consequences, either losing a partner or being long-term COVID. So he's responsible, it seems, for the deaths via manslaughter of 20,000 people. In addition, during the early days of lockdown, I saw videos of people who arrived at Heathrow from abroad, and they were astonished to find no COVID measures in place, just none. They were so astonished they made videos of it, and I couldn't believe I saw them. There were no masks, no social distancing, people running around as usual and huddled together in groups as usual, talking openly with no protection whatsoever. The staff had no shielding. There's no time messages blurting out, be careful, whatever. There's nothing. And this was during the initial so-called lockdown, which itself was 2 weeks late, and the airport was left wide open for business. A major virus spreading hub, not shut down. And this was barely reported at all in the mainstream press. You would never know about it. If you hadn't stumbled on YouTube as I did across these videos, you would never know about them. This was there yourself, or knew something was. The whole thing is astonishing. Not only did Boris Johnson watch what this allowed to happen, but the bloody media didn't report it. It looks so much like collusion, it's just hard to credit it. And then they get the wanker again, who's talking about his hobby of making buses and painting things. Total bloody bullshit. We've never seen any evidence actually got anything anywhere. No photographs, proudly showing his work off to anyone. The reporter at the time didn't ask questions like that, didn't ask for evidence, didn't sit to what Johnson said. Which is convenient because every time you look for Johnson buses, you now get his hobby and not the actual shit he did, which is this Brexit bullshit on the bus. About saying £60 million a week or whatever. Absolute crap. And this is what gets me, is people just fucking get away with this bollocks. You got Matt Hancock, lying through his teeth about PPE. The Tories, when they came to power, decided not to maintain the PPE stocks. They thought, well, why should we have these things? This is not happening, so what's the point in spending money? So when COVID did occur, which by the way was number one risk on the government's agenda, a pandemic was number one risk on the government's agenda, and they chose not to prepare for it. Consciously, deliberately decided to take away the protective measures. And then they were now bleating about PPE and, trying to sort things urgently and making all kinds of excuses and shit. And again, getting away with it, mostly. Some people don't tend to go like Michel Moan, whatever his name is. But the big cheesies just get away with it time after time after time. Bloody lies and sheer crimes on a grand scale, and they get away with it. You take these parties at number 10, infamous parties. No one has been charged with organising them yet. I think at the time it was a £10,000 fine. Well, they're 50 quid each. And that was reluctant. That took a lot of effort to push that. And again, the media people don't really report on this. They don't really report on the scum that goes on, the shit, the corruption, the crimes, because they're in it themselves. They're all from the same kind of culture. These people, all these posh brats, the wealthy wankers, they make sure they get the top jobs. The media jobs, the city jobs, the government jobs, they're there. People with talent, especially scientists, don't get a look in these days. They're exclusive. And you take Julian Assange, WikiLeaks. He was held in prison for years, not charged, no brought to court. His hearings to be extradited to America were abortion, just absurd, just utterly fucking injustice, just writ large, just stupid stuff. And he was tortured, kept in prison for hours on end without meeting anyone, talking to anyone. That really gets to you after a while. And by all accounts, by the UN rapporteur who actually went to see him, he had evidence of being tortured. And this is on British soil, under our UK government, knowingly letting this happen, because they want to stay comfortable with the Americans. Cozy. The whole thing is appalling. On a personal level, I'm a kind of student. I would like to meet people, go to a place where I can meet people and have a bit of fun, which is my right under human rights law. I've got a right to free assembly, unless I commit a crime of some kind. But I don't. I obey the law, but I don't hurt anyone in doing so. There's no evidence, or not much, to indicate harm being done. There might be some, but not conclusive yet. And yet my MP will not respond to requests to get the law changed or to make things better anyway. Just no response at all. This is utterly ridiculous system. I mean, the police just don't go any further than, I don't know, what are they doing? But the Met Police just seem under the thumb of the government, like the pursed up police force. And you can't protest anymore. It's just not effective, just ignored, completely ignored, or dismissed, or suppressed, or trodden on, or shouted out and screamed at for making a fuss. And there was Starmer, who's an authoritarian arsehole, who seems to be clamping down on protests even more. He's quite happy to let these Tory laws stay in place and in bed, and we'll sort them out later. He likes them. They're useful. But the guy's a tosser. He supports Israel in its wipeout of Gaza. He himself is a criminal for doing that. But again, he gets away with it. The media people don't report on Gaza at all, hardly. Until they're forced to. The whole thing is corrupt. Just riddled with bullshit, daft beliefs, ineptitude, and blatant corruption. These people get away with murder. Almost literally. When the doctors and nurses had to use bin bags to try and protect themselves, for God's sake. Many died because they weren't well protected. Yeah. Did they get compensation? Did the families ever get compensation? I doubt it. And I think I'm pretty sure, that these PPE stocks will not be replenished. So should we ever have another pandemic again, which is presumably still number one risk of war, then what will happen? Much the same thing again. And this COVID inquiry just drags on for ages. I think it finishes in about 2 years' time. Costing millions. And yet I gather no charges will be brought, because that's kind of immunity and prosecution to make sure that the truth is found. But if it ever is found, will anyone actually follow the recommendations? They never follow the science, so why would they follow an inquiry? Why would they submit to it? These things are there to, take a long time to sort things out and wait for the inquiry, Once it's there, we'll then talk about it. Years later, people forget about the thing, don't care anymore. It's all deliberate deception and dishonesty for the entire system. There's hardly anyone decent in government now. Hardly anyone. There's decent MPs, but they don't get into power. It seems you want to be a minister, you have to be a bastard. You have to be willing to lie and to cheat and, lick someone's arse. It's a disgusting system. Just a bloody shit show. I despair sometimes when I do. You get these people just so passive and docile and don't bloody complain about it at all. And as for green measures, where are they? The climate science is in dire warnings, like really urgent panicking warnings now. Still being ignored. There's something seriously wrong in our society. I mean seriously wrong. Structural wrong. The private school system should be actually banned and abolished. Actually the monarchy, because that's utterly undemocratic. You get the same shit in America and in other places, all these parties fighting each other for God knows what reason. The media don't do the job properly. It's just shit. So, if you like the video, please indicate that and subscribe and comment and share. Thank you. Bye.